But this guilt business has come because of sophistication. I used to think, why do they feel guilty for everything? First is sophistication. First reason is because you cannot go and say somebody, oh, I'm sorry, I've said this, and please forgive me, and another person may not even forgive. So, this is due to sophistication and no communication. There is no communication. I mean, in a country like India, people will fight, and next day you will see them hugging each other. It doesn't last long, very much. But if there is any sort of a very big problem between the families or some uncertain ancient one, then they'll keep it up. They will not talk to that person, they'll keep that distance, they'll keep it all the time. But here it is not so. Superficially, they meet everyone. Superficially, they talk to everyone. But inside, they have that guilt. So because of this superficial sophistication, what has happened? That we suffer from this left Vishuddhi. And then Vishnumaya gets angry. That's why most of the people in the West I've seen have left Vishuddhi, and even I have got it from you all. It's like that. So it's nothing, it's artificial, it is mythical, nothing to feel guilty about. After all, if you had done anything wrong, you would have been in jail. You are sitting here. So how can you be guilty? So this guilt business has killed our growth in Sahaja Yoga very much, I know that. So first of all, how to overcome your ego is the problem. Ego is there, and when you see your ego and you cannot say that you are egoistical, you have to put the result of that as a left Vishuddhi. So the first thing you have to do is to see that you have ego. Alright. Then you stand before the mirror, separate yourself from your reflection, and start telling off your own reflection. What do you mean by having ego in yourself? You are a Sahaja Yogi, you have no business to have any ego. But if you have the guilt, you will never see you have the ego. You will just feel the guilt but never see you have the ego. And that's how ego remains and the left Vishuddhi also remains. Both things can be easily conquered if you face yourself. Just see yourself, this was my ego. Yes, why should I have ego? Now there are ways of removing all these imbalances within ourselves through Sahaja. It's not difficult. And has been removed. So you know right side, left side is so simple. Sahaja Yoga is just movement of your fingers and hands, that's all. It's not a thing diagnosis where they take out your blood, take out your tongue, take out your eyes and declare that you are healthy. It's not that way. It's just, you can feel it, that you are all right, you are in balance. Once that balance is established, there is no problem with Vishnumaya. So this Vishnumaya, who was the sister of Sri Krishna and later on came as Draupadi and all that, is today also existing in this life. And in your left Vishuddhi. But people do not want to see what's wrong with them. This is the big problem. Like in York, they had a church where a bishop of Durham, useless fellow, he declared that Christ was an ordinary man and he could have been a homosexual. Can you imagine such a thing to say? I mean, even to hear is too much. And we should make some experiments. We should find out through some discoveries. Can you imagine such a hopeless thing he should say in the church? So, when the whole thing was ceremonial, he said it. Then our Archbishop of Canterbury, who is another one, was so enamored by the new discovery of this fellow that he honored him in a church in York. And then after the whole thing was about to be over or something, they saw lightning looming around the church, around it. When all the people were out, this lightning completely fell on that thing and destroyed the whole of the church, except for the lower part. Now, instead of seeing that what they did was wrong, what they said that, see, look at the grace of God and the grace of our faith, that the lower portion of the church was not burnt. Such an explanation to be given. So then explanation comes. I have seen it's very common here because mind is very intelligent here. I did this because I thought like this, I thought like this. Always there is an explanation for everything that you did wrong. I thought like this, but why did you think like that is the point nobody wants to say. If you think, why did I think like that? So this is an escape from the assertion of your ego that has harmed others, or also it has harmed some cause. It's just an explanation. And people wriggle out. Actually, there are so many wrigglers. I have seen like Mr. Waldham. They just wriggle out of all the problems they have created, all the bad things they have done. I mean, somehow or other they know how to wriggle out. Because this method they have developed is to just to say something that would somehow or other give them a little capacity to escape. But they don't want to face it. So now, we have to understand that we must face it. I know Sadhguru also says there are certain whom you tell them now why it has happened. I thought this. But why did you think? You should have seen the vibration. You are not on the thinking level. You are now on the vibration level. Why not use your vibratory awareness? I thought. Once this I thought comes in, your attention is on something that is mythical. The reality is that you have committed a mistake. All right, admit it's a mistake and it's to be corrected. Now take a car. Now there's a car. If the car gets out of order or something, the car doesn't think I thought, does it? And we also don't think that the car thought. Never. What we do is to correct the car. Finished. If you have to drive the car, we correct the car. In the same way, this mind, which says, I thought, should on the contrary correct itself. So this sentence of I thought should be out of the language of Sajjana. We don't think, we are in thoughtless awareness. And then things work out properly. When you start thinking that I think I am responsible, finished. When you start thinking I am not responsible, it's all done by God. I am not responsible for anything. If some mistake is done, it's God's mistake. Let him have his left to shooting. But I haven't done anything now. But when I say I thought, means I take the responsibility and I create my own problem. So to take a decision, you should be in that state of thoughtless awareness. Many times I see all these things happening like a drama around me. I keep quiet, I say, all right, everyone all right. I take the consensus. But whatever has to be done is done according to God's will. But it doesn't amaze people now, it used to once upon a time. Because it corrects people, it is fruitful, it achieves results. Ultimately now, they have accepted that whatever mother decides is the best. But I don't decide actually. To be very frank, I don't do anything. But I see it so clearly, so evidently that this is the right thing one should do. So why do wrong things? That's how you have to develop yourself. to get over this problem of Vishuddhi. But Vishnumaya has to be worshipped, has to be really remembered every day, because that is a common failing in the West. Now, if your Vishnumaya is bad, angry with you, then what happens? You go on adding guilt after guilt, guilt after guilt, guilt after guilt. But all the time if you are alert and keep your Vishnumaya intact, then what happens? That she looks out. She doesn't allow any guilt to come. And then the enjoyment of your spirit is maximum.